Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Sunday. Sorry for coming in late here. Just trying to wrap up a few things here before coming on live. So I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, and I hope all of you attended the masterclass that we did. It was an awesome masterclass, and today, actually, in this live stream, I'm going to provide some more insights about the masterclass that we did as well, and present more case studies. So I'm really excited about this upcoming bootcamp, and those that are going to join us, they are going to really learn a lot from it. Like, this is game changing. It's a game changing strategy that can be used to pull money from a market consistently with minimal risk, right? Because the most important thing is capital protection and low risk, right? So without much ado, I'll just go straight here and then we'll get to business, and we shall get started. So I'll share my screen here. We'll first start with the economic calendar, and we'll review what happened last week, and then we'll go from there. So last week we got the whole the issues with Iran, the issues with U.S. war in Iran is causing issues, and it's causing crude oil to go up. So we got a spike in crude oil. Crude oil went as high as, let me just get the right number here. It went as high as almost $120. That was on the Sunday, I think Sunday, Monday, and then it declined from there. So right now, what we are seeing is that we are seeing crude oil retreat, and if crude oil is pulling back, then that's good for the broader markets, and that is why we see the futures market green. So here, this is the chart of crude oil here. As you can see, the daily chart is red. It's showing that it is red. So as a technician, I'm going to explain to you guys what I'm looking at once we get to that point. I'm just talking about this now. Also, we are having issues with the US economy is showing weakness. So anybody that has been following my work for some time now and be part of the community, you guys remember that I've been talking about the US economy going into a recession, right? When even the economists were not talking about it. People were saying, no, we are going to have economy so booming because we are going to get something akin to the roaring 20s. So if you don't know the roaring 20s, go read about it. That was the time that the stock market was really booming, the economy was really booming, and then after that, the stock market experienced what is called the Great Depression, right? So where the stock market sold off about 80% or more. Okay, so some economists and some analysts were saying we're going to experience something similar, right? But that's not the case. Right now, the US has record debt. They owe a lot, like trillions of dollars. And with this war, it's going to add to the deficit and make matters worse. Also, the economy, the US economy is only, let me see here what I'm doing. Sorry. The US economy is only showing strength because of the US economy is only showing strength because of the AI spending, right? So if you take the AI spending away, you are going to see that the US economy is not really growing that much, right? And right now, companies like Meta, it looks like they are going to perhaps cut down some of their AI spending, because the AI spending is what is holding the economy, right? The regular Joe on the streets in the US is not feeling the so-called strong economy, right? And there are layoffs, like AI spending is holding the economy safe, and AI spending is also causing AI itself is causing a lot of layoffs, right, in the market. So right now, there are a lot of folks that are losing their jobs because their jobs are being replaced by AI. Okay, so we are going to see more and more of that, and we saw that the labor market numbers that came in last week was not really good. It was weak, and I think this trend is going to continue as we head into the. So I believe that before the end of the year, the U.S. economy will go into a recession, right? Before the end of the year. And then the whole war situation with Iran and crude oil going up, if it continues going up, it's just going to accelerate the situation and make matters worse. Also, there is a contagion brewing, which is private credit. So private credit is something that could be the catalyst that triggers the recession. And private credit is something that banks like what's their name? What's the name of that bank? Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank said they have about $30 billion of private credit. And we have Goldman Sachs and all these banks who have private credit issues. So if the private credit issue becomes a contagion and it spreads around, then it's going to cause the market to sell off. So it could be something similar to 2008, the subprime mortgage, but it's not subprime mortgage. This time around, it's going to be private credit. So even though we have this war and things going up, just know that private credit is brewing, and that is something that can cause the economy to crash. So it doesn't look good. It's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. So based on what I'm seeing, it doesn't look good. So we shall see how things work out. But things to do with macroeconomics and stuff, those things, it takes time for things to play out, right? So far we are seeing a decline in the market due to the US and Iran war. But I think private credit, if it becomes a contagion, is a bigger issue than the war. That's even a bigger issue. So we shall see how that plays out as investors and market participants. If the market sells off or we go into a bear market, that is a good time. So generational wealth is built in the bear market. It's not built in the bull market, right? You buy things at record lows, and then once the bull market starts, that is where you are going to make your significant return. So I hope we get a bear market if it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't really matter, right? I'm a technical analysis trader. It doesn't matter which market it is, whether bull or bear or whatever. Anyone that comes in, we shall look to it. But from a long-term investment standpoint, a bear market will be welcome. It's going to be the best conditions, and we shall see how that plays out. Okay. All right. Okay. So now let's look at what is coming up here in the economic calendar. Just write down something. We have this week, we have the Fed decision. We have Powell on Wednesday. I don't think that's going to be a big deal because I don't think the Fed is going to cut interest rate when inflation potentially is going to rise next month once they report it due to oil prices going up. So the Fed will most likely hold the rates and not do anything and allow it to be where it is right now, right? So I don't think that's going to be a big deal, but it depends on the tone of Fed Chair Powell. So it depends on the tone of Fed Chair Powell. We shall see how he whether it sounds hawkish or not or whatnot. That's going to determine what's going to happen. I don't think that there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be any interest rate cuts before Fed Chair Powell leaves his post in May. So I don't know. I think this might be his last meeting, and that might be the end. And then we are going to get the new Fed Chair, Gavin Watch, who is going to take over, I believe, sometime in May or June. Okay. All right. So what do we have this week? So this week we have Monday, we have Empire stuff. This is not a big deal. Tuesday, this is not really a big deal. This is the one that can move the market. We have the PPI, Producer Price Index, and also we have FOMC. So FOMC is going to be at 2 p.m. And then Thursday, we have initial jobless claims. So this is going to be critical for the market because of what happened last week. And and Friday, there's nothing on deck. So that's good enough. Okay, so let's see where the market is trading right now. Let me check out the futures market quickly here. Let me check out the NQ futures March. Okay, you see that beautiful green candle here. So we have this green candle telling us that, okay, things are at the bulls main business. So I'm going to break that down shortly here. So let's go into the charts here. Let's check out the charts here. I'm going to go into check out SPY and show you guys what I'm looking at for this week. So this SPY chart, I'm looking for, always have this one. Okay, so this is a chart of the SPY, that's SPY. So SPY is at a critical level, and I believe that it is, is going to, so this trend line here, take this out, let me clear this. So we have this trend line here. Let me take off these lines to make it easy on the eye. I don't know why I have all these lines here. I thought I cleared it. Or maybe it's on a different board. Okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for. So here we have, so this is, so we go to the weekly time frame. Okay, take this out. Let's just leave their trend lines. I just want to show you guys something. Perfect. Okay, so right here we have, you see, you have the let me stretch this out. Nice. So here we have the SPY. So you see that SPY has done this. So I told you guys that this is like I called this last weekend, and you see here this is forming an inverse cup and handle. Okay, an inverse cup and handle is a bearish pattern. So what I expect to see is that I expect to see a bounce like this. Maybe you can stretch all to this place, and then boom, like that, right? So we can get something like that. I don't think SPY is going to go above this level. So this is the line in the sun, 100 SMA, right? I don't think SPY will get there, right? I don't think SPY will get there. Even if it gets there, it's going to be something that's the bears are going to fight it with all their strength, and then make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so that's the line in the sun. But we are going to get a bounce, right? We are going to get a bounce this week. So we are going to get a bounce into the FOMC. After getting that bounce, we can now get a sell. So what I'm looking at, the roadmap, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at a move like this to the upside. And then once it comes here, it's going to reject. So let me show you what I'm looking at here, guys. So put in the chat if you attended the masterclass last night. If you are here and you attended the masterclass, put 1 in the chat so that I know that you attended the masterclass last night. Inverse cup and handle. Inverse cup and handle. Cup and handle pattern. Okay. See if I can find some images. Say images here. Okay. Okay, I think this one is better. This one here. Oh, yeah. So you see this? This is what I'm looking for. This one. This is what I think is going to happen to SPY. So look at this. So take a screenshot of this and look at this. So I'll go back so that you guys can take a screenshot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's see if you guys, so you can take a screenshot of this and then, or put it in your mind. You can see. So this is what I see SPY. So you see here, this is your cup, and then we are going to get this. So it's inverted. So it's bearish. Then from there, this is going to come down. So this has a date with the 200 SMA. It has a date with the 200 SMA. So here, what I'm looking to do is that I'm looking for that bounce here to pop and then go down. Okay. Then from there, we'll take it from there. So I've compiled a list of 17 stocks that I'm watching, that those are like buy the dip opportunities, and I've provided the levels that I'm looking to buy them. So I'll make a video and I'm going to put it in our group. So those guys that are part of our paid services, the subscription services, all those guys are going to get, anybody that has paid for any of our subscription services is going to get access to that video. So I'm going to go through all the 17 stocks that I'm looking at, and those that are going to look into bounce. Some of them are already ready to go, and some of them are yet to happen. So I'll provide that to you guys. And once it's ready, I'll let you know. I'll get that done tomorrow. Okay. So here, this one I'm watching here, I'm looking for that bounce, and we've seen that bounce happen. So you see here, this trend line here is a critical trend line. It was resistance here, and now it's acting as support, 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 support. Okay. So so no surprising that we are seeing a bounce here in the futures market. Okay, so that's for SPY. So SPY, I expect SPY to at least come here. You know, see where the 669 is 670, this like tomorrow, and then we go here and fill this gap. So the gap fill here, this is a gap fill. I'm going to mark it as green lines to make it easy. That's why I typically use for gaps, green lines, right? So anytime you see a green line on my chart, it's a gap fill. Okay, that's a gap fill. So here, that's what I'm looking at, where price can come to. Maybe before Wednesday, we can fill the gap, wait for power. Depending on what power says, if the market does not like it, we come back down, right? If the market likes it, music to the market's ear, then we are going to push towards this 100 SMA. So this 100 SMA is going to be the last fight, right? Last fight, or the place where the battle is going to be won and lost. Alternatively, we can also look at over here as well. So you know, it's if then scenarios, right? If then scenarios. So if, let's say, we have something like this, okay, we come somewhere here within this region. Of course, once price is pushing up, this red line is not going to be down, it's going to start pushing up, right? So let's say we come somewhere here, okay, somewhere here. We are going to see what looks like a head and shoulders pattern, right? We can still have that. We still have that risk, right? Head and shoulders pattern. So I've provided you with the option A, B, C, right? So whichever one happens, you know how to trade it and how to position yourself, right? So this is how I see this happening, and we shall see how that works out. Let's check out the VIX. The VIX is the volatility index of the S&P 500, okay, or the SPY. So a couple of weeks ago, when I did a YouTube video, I said that this was going to break out, and then we got this breakout here. We've seen come down, and it's retraced, and it hit this resistance level with the SPY and with the futures market being green. This is going to retreat tomorrow, and it's going to head down to this area. Once it gets to 25, it might catch a bid again, and then rally to the upside. So that's what I'm going to be watching here for the coming days here. Okay. All right, let's go to QQQ. So QQQ is also in the same. So here for QQQ has to hold this. You see this this downsloping trend line, like you know, that's what's it called? That sliding thing at the kids play with. I've forgotten the name, right? So you go down like this, zoom like that, right? So that's what the QQQ is doing. So here you see that this has been support, 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 support. So this like a chair, guys. Can you see that? This like a chair. This like someone's chair, right? So the chair is, this is the back of the chair, and then this is what it is. So this is like a chair, right? So here, this is called a bear flag, right? The bear flag has not triggered yet. It's still trading within it, but at some point it's going to trigger, and we shall see, right? So for QQQ as well, the line in the sand is here, just a little bit above the 100. I'll just keep it at the 100 SMA, right? Over here, the battleground is here, right? So the battle is going to be won and lost depending on who wins the last fight here at the 100 SMA, right? So here I am expecting QQQ to bounce. We get a nice bounce. We've seen that in the futures market already. And then we push here to perhaps 603 tomorrow, or even fill this gap before the end of the day. And then it continues going up and wait for power, right? So if power comes and it's hawkish and sounding like, okay, there's not going to be any interest rate cuts this year, we are not thinking we are going to do that, then boom, it's going to come down with a massive sell-off, right? So that's what I'm watching here for QQQ. So QQQ, as long as QQQ holds this downsloping trend line and this 200 SMA line, it is going to bounce, right? You are going to lean long, right? If it holds that area, you lean long. If it breaks below it, you're going to look to short it, right? Because this is a break wall of area. You have an intersection between the 200 SMA and then a very valid trend line. So it's going to be very difficult to break it. But once it breaks, the floodgates is going to open and we are going to head to 580 most likely. Okay. All right. So that is for QQQ. Let's check out DIA. DIA has been walloped like in the last couple of days here. So here again, you see this. What if you have been watching my Tuesday and Thursday videos, educational videos? I called this here. I talked about this forming a head and shoulders, and that head and shoulders triggered. So what I did, so if you have a head and shoulders, you can do what is called the measured move. So measured move from here to here. And I did this and I told you guys that this was coming somewhere here. Look at that. Is that not incredible? It came here to the 200 SMA. So here, we are definitely going to get a bounce here. So this is actually a very good setup. We are going to hold this area. I'll check what the Dow futures is doing, whether it's green or red. I'm pretty sure it's green. So here, the trade is simple. This has gone all the way down here with speed and it has distance, right? So a bounce is imminent. So tomorrow, expect a bounce here. So as long as we trade above this yellow line, you have to lean long, right? If we break below it, you are going to look to short it again. Going to look to take a short, and then it comes here. Next target is here, then here, and then from there we can think about other areas. But for now, I think that this can do something like this. It goes up here, maybe come all the way here again to the 100. And then from there, you can continue selling if the market continues showing weakness. So this is a very high probability trade here. And our target should be at least we get a gap fill. So there are a lot of gap fills here that needs to be filled. So we target this gap fill at the minimum. And then anything beyond that is going to be a cherry on the cake, right? So at least the bare minimum, we can get this gap fill sometime tomorrow or later in the week. We also have other levels here. And then that brings us to where the 200 SMA is. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastical. All right. Okay. That's what it is. So DIA looking good. Let's check out IWM, the Russell 2000 index that houses the small cap stocks. So this one as well. So interestingly, this ETF is kind of trading similar to the DIA. If you look at the two charts, they look similar. So over here, let me try to see if this is this place. Okay. So this was the first one. So here, what I'm expecting to see is that this is the April low trend line. This is going to act as resistance now. So basically, if this bounces, which I expect it to bounce, if everything is bouncing here, this area here is a critical level. So as long as we hold this area, we can put in what looks like a triple bottom, one bottom, two bottom, three. And then at least we can get a push into, at minimum, the gap fill. Right? At the minimum, the gap fill. So get a gap filled, and then we shall dream bigger from there. So bare minimum, we are looking for the gap fill. And then after the gap fill, this can push towards this area. And once it gets here, it's going to bump its head and then sell and come down, right? The next area is going to be here, over here. Perfect. Okay. It's going to be over here. Fantastic. Okay, so we've covered all the major, I've covered all the key indices here, like in terms of their ETFs that track the major indices. So now I'm going to go into, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go into, we are going to look at crude oil, and we are going to look at the commodities, gold, silver. We're also going to look at Bitcoin as well. So I will start with, I'll just pick one here. I'll start with one. Let's check out, where is this guy? So let's check out, first off, so look at the futures market, looking very nice here. Let's go to crude oil, because crude oil is the main factor holding the market right now because of the Iran situation. Oh no, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the current one. Perfect. Okay. So here, this is the crude oil chart, right? So here, until this candle is negated, this is still bearish, right? Until this candle is negated, this is still bearish, right? So here, based on technicals, this is the dominant force. This is the daily chart of crude oil. This is the dominant force. So even if this comes here, as long as it's not breaking above it like this, price trading above this line, 119, this is still bearish, right? So it can come all the way here, head here, and then do what is called a double top and then sell off, right? That's what it can do, right? But as long as this is here, that's the dominant force. So for me, I am shorting crude oil, okay? And I'm patient with it. I'm willing for it to come all the way here. I'm willing for it to come there because it cannot continue going up. At some point, it's going to retrace and go down. It could be this week. It could be next week. Who knows? 2 weeks from now. But I'm not in any rush. I am adding to my position, and then we're going to short it to the downside. So once we get a confirmation, this time around, we are going to come and we'll crack this teal blue line here. We are going to crack this CN colored line and we'll go. So what we are going to see, because this is news driven, everything now with crude oil and the whole market has been news driven so far, due to crude oil. If crude oil continues staying up, then it's going to be bad for the market. But once he retraces, like today, we are seeing that the futures market is green and everything is green, right? So we shall see how that plays out here in the coming days, and we'll trade it accordingly. So for now, what I'm looking at here is that I'm going to mark this highs here for now. This is it can change from now to tomorrow. All of a sudden, tomorrow morning, this can flip green, and it's just going to move everything away. So here I'm looking at this. So if price breaks below this level, 98, it's going to start moving down. And then this area here is going to be critical support, where the teal blue line is, which is the 9 EMAs. That's going to be the critical support. So once that cracks, we are going to head down further, right? So I'm bearish on crude oil right now because of this, slightly bearish, right? Because we can get some bad news from Iran-US war that can accelerate things, and it could send things going up. So the reason why this has retreated was that I think the Trump administration sent some bombs and missiles to Iran and damaging one of their islands where they have all their facilities that they use to create their oil and stuff. So that has affected oil price, and we've seen that retreatment. So we shall see what happens in the coming days here, and we'll cover that accordingly. But I am short here crude oil using USO. I'm short on it, and I'm also short on the Invest ETF as well. So I'm long on the Invest ETF and short on USO. Okay. All right. So now let's go to what's the name? Crypto. I believe crypto is due for a big breakout this week. I was telling you guys last week, but crypto is due for a big breakout. Yeah. So the thing with crypto is that if you look at this, it has struggled to break. So this is the daily chart, by the way. Bitcoin has struggled to break this red line, which is the 50 SMA. Okay. Immediately it breaks this, it's full steam ahead. It's blue skies. It's going to come here where the yellow line is, right? That's what is going to happen. So for crypto, a big squeeze is coming. Once the stock market stabilizes from this whole war situation, it is going to rip, right? And with oh, I even see a trend line here. Let me see if it's going to work. Look at that, right? So here, this is coming here. So once it pushes, there's an area where it's going to bump its head into. And then if it can crack it, we are going to push up. So I'm bullish on crypto this week. Once we clear here, it's game time. It's off to the races. This is going to take off like a rocket ship, guys. So I am, I'm bullish on crypto. Based on this pattern here, based strictly on technicals. I'm not talking about long term or anything. I'm looking for short term moves, right? That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so that's how I see this going to. I see Bitcoin going to 80,000 at least. 80,000. Where's that 80,000 mark? Is it this one? Yeah, around that area. Yeah, 80K around this area. This one. 80,000. This is the 80,000 range. So I expect Bitcoin to come here, between here and here. So this area between 80 to 85,000. That's the area where I expect it to go. And it's funny enough, it's going to coincide with this trend line here, right? It's going to coincide with the trend line. So that's the place where I'm expecting this to come to. So with that in mind, I'm going to be attacking crypto-related stocks to capture that move, right? To capture that move. In the last 2 weeks in a swing trading service, we captured Coinbase the week before, not this last week. 2 weeks ago, we caught Coinbase in the swing trading service, which returned 100% return, 100% return on investment. And then last week, we did Circle. Circle is a stable coin company, so it's also crypto related. So that one gave us 130%. So crypto has been good. So I believe that crypto is going to continue going up and show some strength this week. So I will look at some crypto related stocks very soon, and then we'll go through those ones. Okay. Then here we have Ethereum. Ethereum too is looking good. Oh, actually, Ethereum is almost also at this. So they all have similar patterns. Okay. They all have similar patterns. So here, if you watch my video on Tuesday, I mentioned this. I mentioned that this was going to break, and we are here so far. So right now, this is where we are at. Once we clear this red line, it's game time. This is going to go to 2,000 and 2,600 and some change, right? That's where it's going to go. So watching Ethereum. Let's look at Solana as well. Solana as well, and then we'll go into the other tickers. So Solana as well, same predicament, same area. So everything is at the 50 SMA here. So you see here, this one I did this in the what's it called, the YouTube video I did. So you see that Solana is also here, looking to break out above that red line. If it breaks out, then it's going to come here to 117. Then from 117, it can go higher. So Solana in the interim, I expect it to go to 117 once it breaks this red line. Okay. All right. So how am I going to attack this in the stock market? So I'm going to use crypto related stocks. So one of them is Irene, right? So this Irene here, this looks like a beautiful chart, guys. This one is like a very nice chart. So here you see this wedge pattern, triangle pattern here. This is a breakout stuff. So you see here, this is like your cup. This is forming something like a handle. Once it cracks this area, this where this 100 SMA is on this white line, it is going to be off to the races, right? So Irene is one of the stocks that I'm watching, and it held the 200, which is a very good place. So it's going to pop its head into this. At least you can get a you're going to get like from here to here is going to be 14% move. With that 14% move, I think that is a big move in options. If you trade options with that, that's like 200, 300, 400%, right? So I'm going to be watching Irene closely this week. Actually, let me put this alert, because sometimes if I don't put the alert, I can forget the ticker, right? So here, let's put Let me know when this gets to 45. Then we'll take action. Okay. All right. Another one that I'm looking at is Coinbase. Coinbase, right? Coinbase here. But the only thing I don't like about Coinbase is that Coinbase has a gap below it, so it could come back down and fill the gap. But if it's able to crack this bull flag, so anytime you have a gap, right? Anytime you have a gap on a stock like this, what you can do is that you can fill the gap in your head, and this becomes something like this. Let me go to a different. This becomes something like this. So you have here. This is a flag, right? And then we are going to get something like this. If Bitcoin breaks out, we are going to get something like this. Let me show you here on the charts. We're going to get something like this, like a green candle. And then off to the races. It's going to be gone. So here, there's nothing really stopping this. This area has been an area where Coinbase has struggled, right? So as a technician, you have to look at pattern recognition. Is very important, right? If you want to be very good at technical analysis, you should be able to spot patterns very fast, right? So here, when we swing traded this, I told members of the swing trading service that our main area to take profit is here when this comes to the 50. And we got this move, we took our money and then walked away, right? Because I knew that it was going to struggle here. Look at this. The last time price came here, look at what it did. It was demolished. This thing sold off 47%, right? So do you think that when it comes here, it's just going to just go boom like that? No, it doesn't work that way, right? It's going to you know, it's going to like, so here, what I like what he's doing here, because it shows that there's negotiations going on. There's a battle going on between the bulls and the bears. And once you see that consolidation, is a good sign. But if we got a very quick rejection like this, then it wouldn't have been a good sign. But here, this is a good sign, right? So as long as this holds, let me even be generous. I'll just put it here. Let's say we fill the gap. Let's just come and fill this gap, get it downwards, right? Here. Let's say we come all the way down here and fill this gap, get it downwards. We are going to squeeze and go. It all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks that red line, which is the 50, and the interesting thing is, if you look at this, Coinbase is also where at the 50 SMA. Bitcoin is at the 50 SMA. So when you are doing swing trade, what you do is that you look at, because Coinbase follows Bitcoin. So if you are doing swing trade, you have to look at where Bitcoin is, right? If Bitcoin was here, trading high, and you want to get Coinbase over here, it's not going to fit well in the swing trade, because if all of a sudden Bitcoin starts selling, it's going to put pressure on the Coinbase. But the fact that the two of them are in the same location is perfect for a swing trade, right? So that is, if we break here, in this case, it's going to be the bull flag. Once we break the bull flag, then it's off to the races. We are going to come here at least to the 241, where the 100 SMA is. Or better still, we can just come here, this area, right? This area here, 226 is where I expect this to come to at least, right? Once the bull flag breaks out. So watch out for crypto this week. And if Ethereum is going to go and do wonders, I also like E8. So this is the Ethereum ETF. I'm going to use options to trade it, and I'm going to use that to track Ethereum, right? And if I want something which is a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more spicy, I would, to spice it up, instead of using the regular Ethereum ETF, in this one, this is the Ethereum ETF. So here, this is clear as day. Break above $16, or let's say break above $17, we'll send this to this area. We will target the gap fill, right? That's what we're targeting, right? So instead of buying the real Ethereum, which is going to be a little bit expensive to trade it, unless maybe you are using the crypto, whatever, leverage stuff. Here, you can come here and buy this. This is going to be cheap. It's going to be that expensive. Look at this, a few cents, right? So this, like, in options, this value here, if you're buying this one, you just multiply by 100, you are paying $55. So once this starts moving, if this can even move from here to where the red line is, this can give you 100% return in a flash. Okay, so this what I'm going to be looking at. So I'm going to be loading up on some of these cryptos, Ethereum, Bitcoin. I'm going to use IBIT, and I'm going to show you that one for what's it called, Solana. And I'm also going to use the leverage ETF, ETHU. So ETHU. So instead of this one, if you want to spice things up, you can take this. But just know that this leverage, so this is 2x leverage. So when Ethereum goes up, the Ethereum ETF goes up by 1%, this one goes up by 2%, right? That's how it is. So you can trade this one. So for Solana, you can trade it using this one, this leverage Solana ETF. By this leverage, so this 2x leverage, right? So you can buy call option. You see that this has been consolidating. Okay. How many weeks now? Let's see. Oh, holy cow. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. It's consolidating for 5 weeks, right? So the longer the consolidation, those that have taken our course, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the move. Do not be surprised to see this trading here. 91. Because of this consolidation, we are going to get a massive squeeze, short squeeze to the upside, which makes this very explosive. Okay, so I will be, so again, I'll position myself to capitalize on the move. If it happens, this area here is where I'm going to target. That's my ultimate target. Obviously, I'm going to be taking some profit along the way. This area here is my gap fill, and then we can, go from there. Okay, this area here. All right, this area here. So we have that. So perfect. So I've shown you how I'm going to play the crypto rally. So you can take these trade ideas and make them your own and execute. It's all about execution, right? All about execution. Okay. So here, I'm going to go to my chart here. So yesterday I went through the cash flow option system. So it's a new bootcamp that I'm going to be offering in April. So April 25th. For those that want to level up their options game using the sell side of options, right? Whereby you can collect premium and get consistent passive income coming out, right? So what does the cash flow stands for? It stands for, C stands for capital preservation first, because without capital, you have no business, you have nothing to trade with, right? A means asset selection strategy. So in the bootcamp that we are going to do, which is going to be a 6 weeks bootcamp, 2 weeks is going to be going through the course content. The other 4 weeks is going to be practical. So we are going to be taking live trades, right? We are going to be taking live trades. We are going to critique it. We are going to go through every single thing that needs to be done, right? And we're also going to talk about advanced strategies that participants of the program or the students who take the program are going to use to supercharge their portfolio, right? So this year is I see this as a no loss strategy, right? No loss strategy, because if you are doing the basic one, so we do what is called covered calls. If you have 100 shares of a stock that has options, you can do covered calls on it, right? And you also have what is called cash secure puts as well. So for instance, if I want to buy 100 shares of Tesla, there are two ways of buying it, right? I can go to my broker and buy 100 shares, or I can sell options, put options, collect premium, and then I wait for it to hit my price, my strike price, before I can exercise it and then have the 100 shares. So I want to get paid for buying a stock at a discounted price. That's pretty much what this is about, okay? And this here is something that you can do, and depending on the size of your portfolio, you can use this to pay your living expenses, and this can replace your 9-to-5 income in a flash. This strategy here, right? And this can pay your mortgage, right? You can set it up to pay your mortgage. So this is a very this strategy is being used by Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett uses it like in 2018. If you go check their income statements, they used it to buy shares of a stock. So if Warren Buffett and his company want to buy shares of a stock, they don't just go and buy it. First of all, they want to get it at a discount, and they use options. They sell options in order to buy that. So they get premium, big premium. Imagine buying something for $2 billion using options. You sell the option and you call it the big premiums, right? So in this course, I'm going to talk about those things, how to do that and how to pull. And on the sell side, if you've done the buy side, on the sell side of options, most of the time you are winning, right? Most of the time you are winning, right? And even your loss is not a loss, right? If you lose, it's basically you owning shares of a company that you want to own anyway, right? Shares of a company that you want to own anyway. So that's something that I'm going to show. So here we have H being the high probability setup. So we focus on only companies that are profitable, and that's what we focus on, like companies that we want to own and we know a lot about them. And here we have financial discipline. L means liquidity and market awareness, because if you are using option, you have to get options that are liquid, whereby if you want to exit your position, it's easy to do so without having any issues. And then we have ongoing income optimization. So I'm going to show you some case studies and examples of what I did like last week to collect premiums from buyers of option, right? And then here, this is compounding. It compounds, right? Compounds. So compound effects, right? The great scientist Albert Einstein once said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, right? Eighth wonder of the world, right? So that is the key. Okay, so here I'm going to quickly explain something. Going to quickly explain something here. Sorry. Exit. Going to quickly explain something. Let me see if I can pull this here. Yeah, I'm going to quickly explain something here. So I'll show you something. So here, this is how the cash flow strategy works, right? So basically, if I want to own 100 shares of a stock, right? I do not go to my broker and like everybody else, I don't just go to my broker and say, okay, I want to buy 100 shares of ASTS. ASTS is like a space company stock, right? I don't just go, but I go there and I sell what is called a cash secured puts, right? So if I want 100 shares, I want it at a certain price. Let's say the price is $80. I should have 8,000 to be able to buy it, right? Because the stock price is 80 times 100, 8,000. So with that 8,000, I use that to open the position. Once I open the position, I collect premium. So it's just like, let's say you are a buyer of option. You went to buy it and I will sell it to you. I'll collect the premium. So usually as option buyers, usually we buy and someone takes our money. So that someone is going to be like you. So it's just like an insurance company. So put in the charts and let me know, do insurance companies lose money? Put yes or no in the chat. So I know that you guys are following, right? Do insurance companies lose money? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let me see who is listening, who is following here. Put yes or no in the chat. There are 13 people watching here. I want to see everybody put something here. Put something in the chat here. Yes or no? Yes or no in the chat. Let's see who is typing here. Yeah. So basically, what's happening is that insurance companies hardly lose money because most of the times, most people do not file for claims, right? Everything is good, right? So you are going to turn yourself into the insurance company where you are going to be collecting premium. So basically, what happens is that if I need 100 shares of a stock, I go and sell puts, collect premium until it hits my desired price or goes below my desired price. So in this case for ASTS, it's what, $180. So it has to go below $80. If it doesn't go below $80, no problem. I rinse and repeat. So yesterday I used AMD as an example of a stock that I did, and I've done it 2 times. It still hasn't got into my $170 mark. So I've done it again. I'm waiting. If this week the market is strong, AMD is going to go up and the contract is going to expire worthless, and I took their money, right? And I'll do again like that until I get my price. That's the thing, okay? So here, this is a covered call on a stock called Ondas, right? Ondas is a what's it called? I think it's a drone company or something. The stock price is very cheap. Let me show you. The stock price is very cheap. Ondas, yeah, stock price is very cheap. So here with Ondas, what I saw was it's so when I entered, that was 2 weeks ago that I took the trade, and it expired this last week Friday. So I took it 2 weeks earlier for 2 weeks out expiry, right? So when it came at that time, it came here, it was here. So what I did was that in order for me to get shares of Ondas, what I did was I sold. I did what's it called? I sold the option, right? So I sold I think it was the $8 on $9 what do you call it, puts, right? So I sold the cash secure puts. I bought 1,000 shares for 1,000 shares of this, right? So here I collected some premium, right? I collected some premium from that. I think it was around $200 in total because there were 10. So I collected the premium, and then I did it in such a way that it was close to the money so that I can get assigned. Get assigned means that the money that I put down as a cash secure put, those guys took it, the broker took it and gave me the 1,000 shares. But I also got the premium as well, right? So basically, I got it at the price that I wanted at a discount plus the commission, right? And then once I got 1,000 shares, what I did was that I went around and then I did a covered call because now I have the 1,000 shares. So I sold 10 contracts out as covered calls and I put it somewhere here, right? Around $12 or so. Let me see what strike I take. So here, yeah, there you go, $12, right? So $12 calls. And look at it. This expired worthless on Friday. So we expired worthless on Friday, and then here, because this now did what a head and shoulders pattern, and it sort of and consolidated all throughout this time, right? So here, what I did was that immediately this got to 76%. I said, okay, you know what? I've gotten enough from this. I'm going to close this position, and so here I collected premium of $276 USD. So I closed the position for a win. And what I did was that I sold another covered call which expires here, which expires this week, this coming week, and for $12.50, right? So if by end of the week this doesn't go to $12.50, I keep the premium. I can keep my premium regardless, right? It doesn't matter the outcome. So if this comes here, right? If this comes here, what's going to happen is that if at the end of the week, Ondas closes at, let's say, $13. Let's say it closes at $13. What's going to happen is that I'm going to lose my 1,000 shares, but it's not a bad thing because I bought this thing here at around $8, and now I'm selling it at what? $12.50. So I made money from it. So $2, something of $4.50 times 1,000. That's how much I made, right? So what I would just do is I will just wait for this to pull back, and then I'm going to do another option selling, sell cash secure puts, and enter again and redo it, right? If I don't want to lose my 1,000 shares, I can structure in such a way that I can change the expiration date. I can roll it and move it to another date, right? And then I'm going to continue like that. So this one, so far, it has worked out, no issues. And so so you're getting appreciation in your stock, and you're also getting the premium. So here, there's the premium collected, right? And over here, this is another one, ASTS. So ASTS here is this one I did like a covered call. So I was able to sell the puts first to get the shares, collected the premium, and then I got it was converted into shares of the stock. So I then sold covered calls on it. So here I sold covered calls on 10 contracts. So I have 1,000 shares, and that one returned. No, this is so under. Sorry, that one returned. I was able to collect 2,800 USD premium from this, right? And see that 99.92. So this expired worthless, right? One contract was $2.80 or $2.90, right? $2.90. So if you multiply by 100, which we use for options, that is what's it called? That's $290, right? So here I collected this, and then I just closed the position, wrote another one again, like on Friday, collected that premium as well, and like that we go continue collecting, right? So let's say you come to the program, you do it, and you understand and everything is well, and you set up your portfolio. You can set this up such a way that it's going to pay your bills. If you have a 9 to 5 and you want to leave 9 to 5, this can take you out of 9 to 5, right? Once your portfolio is at a certain level, right? Whereby you can get consistent revenue, right? This is not like the buy side. This is completely different. This is, you are going to be the insurance company. And someone said, yeah, no, insurance companies don't lose money. So that's the thing. So in the gambling world, it's called the casino, right? Or the house. The casino does not lose money. If you go to Vegas, it's like going to Vegas and they tell you, hey, there's a game that you're going to play. 8 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times, you are going to win. And here, there's no loss. This is a no-loss strategy. If you are doing the covered calls, cash secure put, no-loss strategy, there's no loss because your loss is a gain, right? Your loss is a gain, right? Your loss is a gain. Someone says, it's too good to be true. But this is true. Yeah, actually true, right? It is insane. It's crazy, right? I've showed you examples. Like I showed you example. I have the receipts, right? I'm showing you examples here, right? And what happens here is that because on this ASTS, let me show you ASTS. What happened to ASTS here? ASTS, where I got it. So again, ASTS here, I use what is called pattern recognition, right? Guys, if you want to learn this, spend every time possible to learn technicals, right? Technicals is like, it's like your superpower, okay? So what I did was I looked at this chart on ASTS. I look at it, I'm like, okay, look at this. This thing, every single time, that's what the white line, right? Is the 100 SMA. Every single time that I come here, it bounces, right? It bounces. Like, I even did a YouTube live like this. I showed you guys. I did a calculation on it. We found the average, and we said that this is going to. So look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So when this comes here, what do you think it's going to do? Is it not going to do the same thing it did here? That's what it did. So what I did was I came here. I said, okay, you know what? This thing is going to bounce here, right? But I don't want to buy this 1,000 shares just like that. No, I want money from it. I want something from it. So I went to the market and said, okay, I intentionally placed the trade so that I can get assigned. Getting assigned means that your cash secured put has been converted to shares of the stock. So I can set it up in such a way that I want to get assigned. I want to get assigned. So I took something. I took the $80. I think it was the $80 puts, something like that. And then I got assigned that same week, right? I got assigned and I got my 1,000 shares. I collected a premium and I got my 1,000 shares at the price that I wanted, right? Immediately I got assigned, I wrote the covered calls, sharp, right? And then that's how I collected that one. That one expired last week, right? Collected that one. And then I've opened another one again. So let's say for the sake of argument, the one that I've read, the new one that I wrote, it was 106, right? 106. So let's say for the sake of argument, this thing comes here and by the end of the week, it closes above 106. It could, right? It closes around 106. I bought my starting price for the 1,000 shares is $80. Okay, so that was the $80 strike. So I would have made $26 increment in the share price of the stock. So it's going to be simple math. $26 times 1,000 is what? 26K. Okay, 26,000. And we've not even added the premiums that I've collected. So I've collected all that. So basically, someone will take the shares, no problem, right? I can always get it back because this is going to pull back once it gets here. It might not even get here, for all you know. It might not even get here and it's going to sell off. So that is the power of the strategy, right? And obviously, there's more to it. That, like, it's not just this thing. There's more to it. So here you see ASTS 99.92. So that means that this contract here, whoever bought it is just zero. Their money just evaporated, right? And then here, this ASC, and there's another one. So this is more an advanced strategy. I call it the smart man's covered calls, right? So I did that on this stock here, this one. What's the name of the stock? This crazy memory chip companies that don't pull back. So this one here, WDC. So WDC is part of the memory chip companies that have been rallying nonstop like crazy, including SanDisk, right? So I did it for this one. So here, I did that one here. You see here? So over here, what I did was that I bought leap options, right? Leap options expiring in January. Because I didn't want to go and buy. So at this area, this was where it was. Because here as well, look at it, guys. Look at it. Again, what do you guys see? Can someone tell me what's happening here? Here we have what is called pattern recognition. You see here, price came here to the red line, the 50, it bounced, right? So what do you think is going to happen here? It's the same thing, right? Same thing that's going to happen here. So what I did was I bought my leap options. So this is a more advanced strategy. I bought the leap option because I did not want to buy 100 shares of this. Like 100 shares of this is going to be like 24K. Okay, like somewhere here, 24K. So yeah, that's good, but that's a lot of investment, right? So what I did was I used what is called the smart man's covered call. I've given it a new name. Some people call it poor man's covered calls, right? Or diagonal spread, right? So I used the smart man's covered calls. Instead of me spending 24,000, what I did instead was I used the smart man's covered calls, bought 2 leap options. The leap options are going to behave as if I have the 100 shares. So instead of buying one, I bought 2. Okay. So with the same 24K, I bought 2. And then that gives me ability to sell 2 covered calls. Okay. So here, this is the one I bought, 195. So it's just lost $1,000 and some change, right? Which is not a big deal. Next week, these stocks are going to go up. This is going to rally. And then this is going to come back green. And so look at what happened. So here, this is the amount I spent, 24,000, right? 24, multiply by, here, this is the amount I spent on this leap option, right? Around 24K. I spent it because this has lost 1,000. So 24K. And that gives me the ability to buy, because it's 2. You see here, 2, right? 2. So it gave me the ability to now sell 2 covered calls on this stuff. So look at what happened here. So here, this is what this gave me. I was able to collect with the 2 covered calls. I was able to collect $900 each from each one. So 1,800 from this. So I collected it from there. And then, but if I did the regular covered calls, I would have only collected 900. So now I've doubled my return on investment kind of thing, right? So again, this is a more advanced strategy, right? I'm going to teach all this thing in detail in the course. And then here, I've gone around and sold another one, right? I sold another one, which is this time around, I collected $10.65 per contract. So 2,001 something, 2,130, right? Let's say for sake of argument, 2,000. So $2,000 plus this one, which is approximately 2K as well, right? It's like almost $4,000 in this. And this time around, where I said this is that I'm setting it here at all-time highs. It might not even get to all-time highs, right? It might just, like, if it comes to all-time highs, fine, whatever. I made money already, right? That's the thing. So this stock is volatile, and because it's volatile, the premiums are very expensive, and this a little bit more advanced strategy. So it's not for everybody, this particular one, especially with this particular stock. But this can also be done with dividend stocks. So dividend stocks, even you are going to get more money, because like a stock like Walmart, I do that on Walmart. Walmart has dividends in, I think they're going to pay in April 9th. So I've structured the trade such that I'm going to collect. So Walmart gives you 99 cents per share. I'm going to collect that dividend, and I'm also going to create my own dividend here using covered calls or the covered calls to do that. So I'm going to be collecting 2 different dividends, adding it together to increase my return on investment, right? So if you're interested in learning this, so this is just like the basic stuff. We are going to cover more advanced things in this course, and we're also going to cover so the system that I've built, what I've done is that we've built some AI tools that is going to help us with our fundamental analysis and technical analysis as well. Those are some things that I'm going to be covering in great detail in the course as well. And in this course, how I've structured it is structured in such a way that there's going to be the theory part where it's done live, where you can ask questions, very interactive. It's going to be on weekends, like, it's going to be on the 25th. So we are going to start here on it's going to start, if you check the Q&A here, we are going to start on the 25th of April, and this is going to be from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And then the other Sunday we finish it up. And then in the month of May, we are going to be meeting once a week or even twice a week. I'm even thinking we even do Monday and Friday, so that the Wednesday students can use that to check their trade and make adjustments accordingly, and then we can discuss that on Friday. So I think we are going to do twice in the week, just 1 hour. It doesn't take long, because these positions, once you are taking them, it doesn't take long. It's just 5 minutes work and you are done, right? And you don't need a lot of monitoring. You don't need a lot of babysitting for this stuff. You can set and forget. You can set. So this is something where if you are like a shift worker or something, or you're a very busy professional, or you work out of town, out of country, this is something that you can do. You can set it up for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, any way that you want it to fit your lifestyle, and you can get it done, right? So here, what's the cost of the course? So what are you getting from it? So we are going to learn all this. So we have all this stuff. We have other things that we are going to learn. We're going to learn about vertical spreads and stuff. We are going to learn a lot of advanced strategies as well. And there's going to be 4 weeks of live trading. So everybody is going to start with a simulated account, a paper account. Everyone has to take a trade. Like, you can't come there without having your trades. Everybody have to take their trades. And we are going to have one-on-one. So for each student that is going to attend, I'm going to have a 2-hour one-on-one session with them to map out their game plan of how they can build their portfolio depending on their account size. So, if you come in your portfolio, if you have $1 million or you have 500,000 or 10,000 or 5,000, we are going to sit down. We are going to map out a game plan for you to build around your portfolio, right? If it's 5K, you focus on a 5K plan, right? And also we look at the person's goals. Like, do you want to use it to pay your bills? Do you want to use it to maybe leave your 9 to 5? We are going to structure all that in that 2-hour session. So that's going to be personalized to each and every participant. Okay. And also we are going to have here, so here we are going to have these private sessions with each person. Everybody's going to get help with the broker setup. That's pretty straightforward. And first trade confidence call. Everybody's going to take their first trade, and these are the value of what you get. The total value is 15,500 and excess, but everything is you pay 1,997, right? For this. This is a very interactive program, right? The other programs out there that I know that are charging 20 grand for this, right? But I just want to make sure that people get the right information so that they don't have to pay too much for it, but get the help that they need to supercharge their portfolio and create a real passive income. I know people talk about passive income, different streams of income, but this here is, I don't see this as work, right? I see this as making money without working. So here, until Monday, we have $1,000 off. So this is going to come down to, so the one is going to come out if you want to take action, is going to be 997, right? So you get $1,000 off by using the promo code CASHFLOW. So you can see that on our screen, CASHFLOW. And I'm going to put it here in the chat. And anybody that wants to take massive action, they should do so before what's it called? It's going to be before, how do you say it? Before Monday. Monday is coming, Monday 16th at 11:59 p.m. Mountain time. You want to do that. Yeah, you get everything. So you get premium. So you are there collecting the premium, right? And then you just do it, continue doing. Yeah, I see somebody mark it does, right? Yeah. So we are going to go in more detail. I just did this one was just a rash explanation. I'm going to go into more detail in this. Yeah, that's why we are doing it over the content. We are doing over a 2-week period. I could have done it like a crash course, but I just want to take time to explain. So you don't need any prior experience. You can always learn this. We teach you everything gradually. Everybody's going to build from there. Even if you're a beginner, we are going to start from beginner level, and by the time you finish, you are going to be very good at this, right? And this is something that you can, if you want to go on vacation. So we are doing it in such a way that before the summer, people can start trading live, and they can even use that to pay for their summer vacation. Wouldn't that be lovely? That's what it's about, right? So here we mean business. So if you are serious, if you want to make a new stream of income, this is it, right? If we talk about, so people have been asking me, hey, Rich, I can't do day trading, I can't do swing trading, I'm busy, I'm this, that kind of thing. If this is the strategy that you need, right? This is the strategy that you need. Okay. So I put the link there. And we can, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Those that are in our WhatsApp group, you guys can get my number there. You can reach out and we will talk. Okay. But this is the opportunity. Don't miss the $1,000 off, because after that, everything is going to go up and you have to pay the full price. Okay. All right. So let me know if you guys have any questions here. I put the link in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions, and you can see the promo code there in the banner. CASHFLOW, right? Promo code is CASHFLOW. So I'm going to type it here as well. Promo code CASHFLOW. CASHFLOW, right? Promo code CASHFLOW. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, and then let me see here if I can pull this. Sorry guys, let me just see if I can pull this. There's something that I'm looking for. So we still have more content, more things to cover. Let's see here. Where is this stuff? Okay, just one sec. I need to pull something here. Let me see if I have my slide from yesterday. Just give me a sec, guys. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Beautiful. Okay, so let's do this. Where's my thing? Okay, so feel free to post any questions that you have here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. So here, let's see if you guys think it's not shared yet. There you go. Perfect. Bingo. So here, this is the QR code here. So if you want to reach out to me, just scan this QR code, and then you can like, you know, reach out or book a meeting with me, a consultation session, and then we can talk if you have any questions. But don't miss out on this great opportunity, right? Because what's this stuff? Okay, yeah. So click on it. You are going to see all my contacts, and then you can reach out. All right. Okay. And then you can join if you have not joined our free community, make sure you join. Also, if you've not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do. You have my email there, and you can book a free strategy call. Okay. All right. So awesome. So now, if there are no questions, I will just go straight to the next item. I'm going to talk about gold and silver. Gold and silver. And gold and silver here. Let's see. I'm going to talk about gold and silver right now. Okay. Just want to be, where is this thing? Gold and silver. So here we're going to talk about gold and silver. Gold. First off, let's check out gold. We talked about crude oil already. Let's talk about gold. Gold. Where are you? Yeah. Gold is back here. This is crazy. I drew all these things. So this drawings, I drew it from last Sunday. You see it? Pattern recognition, guys. You see that? I'm going to clear it so that you can see it better. Look at that. Pattern recognition. See? Price came here. The red line bounced. Boom. Came here, very close to it. It kissed it. Boom. Boom. And what did you do? It came here. Boom. As well. Bounced. Where is it coming? It came here, so most likely it's going to bounce. Okay, so that's the analysis for gold. I already did analysis for you guys, right? So here now, this gold here, if it can hold this 50 SMA, then it's bounce time. You can even look to get like a swing trade. Those that trade options, you can get a swing trade on it, and then you can ride it to the upside, right? As long as it doesn't break here. I mean, you can give it some room. Sometimes, you know, it can pierce through it, but as long as it doesn't break here and it holds, it's game time. It can even bottom up here. It can even bottom up here, and then it can go up. So I will be trading that using the GLD. That's the ETF for gold. And then we'll look to position. All right, position ourselves to capitalize on that. Okay. Then let's go to silver. So if here holds, I'm bullish, right? But if this breaks and continues going, then I'm going to take a short trade on gold. But based on this pattern recognition, it's going to bounce. It's going to bounce, right? Let's look at silver. Silver here. Silver is actually trading below the 50 here. So let's see if it can hold this green line here. Let's look at key support. If it can hold it, then it can rally. But if not, it's going to head down here to this area. And then from there, if this does not hold, it's going to come here. Okay, so that's how I see silver going. But silver looks a little bit weaker than gold. And then it has this trend line here. See this trend line is here. So this here is doing that. So once it clears, then boom, it's gone, right? I can also draw one here. So here, if we break below here, we are heading down to this area, to this line. And then from there, we'll head here. So this must hold. It could just squeeze into this and then do something like this. It can continue doing this, and then from there, it takes off. So that's what I see here with silver. And then that will bring us to here, next target. Then next target will be somewhere here. Then next target will be here, and then here. Okay, that's the thing. All right, so I have a few stocks here that I want to cover, and then we'll wrap up. Right, I have a few stocks here that I want to cover. One of them I've covered it several times, and I've members of our community. I told you guys you should start buying the stock. So my first stock is Microsoft. Microsoft, right? So Microsoft is coming here. Look at where it is. So first off, if you go to the weekly time frame, you can see that Microsoft is, you see this yellow line here. This is a 200-week simple moving average, right? So if you're a long-term investor, right, anytime a stock or ETF or whatever you're trading, it could even be crypto, right? Anytime it comes to the 200 SMA area, weekly SMA area, that's a big discount. It's a time to buy, right? And even if it goes below this yellow line, the 200 SMA, weekly SMA, that's a deep value zone and a big discount, right? So that's a way to determine something is a big discount, and it's also a way to determine the market bottom of a stock or even the general market. So I'll show you an example with Bitcoin, right? The crypto guys. I'll show you an example with Bitcoin. So where is Bitcoin here? Bitcoin 2 is at that level right now. Bitcoin. Do I even have the 200? Okay, I have it. So you see here, let me take off these lines for Bitcoin so that I can see it clearly. So if you look at Bitcoin, right? This is the 200-week. This is a weekly time frame. Look at the yellow line. That's a 200-week simple moving average, right? And that's an area where, once anything that you're trading comes there, is a good time to buy because that's a discounted rate, right? And we all know what has happened to Bitcoin. I mean, I called the top on Bitcoin in October, and when most crypto gurus and furus were saying it's going to 200,000, right? So by doing something simple, look at this. So here, this is the 2019 highs. If you connect it to the highs of 2021 and you extend it, boom, this is what you get, right? So here, this 2017. So I'm going to mark it here, 2017 highs. 2017 highs, and then here you have 2021 highs, and then where did we come to? 2025. Boom. So here, this is a trend line that I call the mother of all trend lines, and every single time Bitcoin has come here, it has collapsed by 80%. 2017, it came all the way down to 80% decline from this trend line. Here as well, if you start from here to here, it was 80%, right? So here as well, we've come down. It's been like 60%. So there's still more downside. But before then, Bitcoin has to move a bit. It's going to move a bit to at least this area, 90 or 80 something thousand. And then from there, if the US economy hits a recession, then this is going to go down. So I'll show you where I bought my Bitcoin. Okay. By the way, I've exited Bitcoin already. I exited here, right? I exited Bitcoin. I'll buy it again once it goes to 26,000, right? Once we get the final complete stuff. So here, look at this. You see where the 200 is? This helps you to determine the market bottom in any market. That's secret sauce. So even if you have not taken our course, I'm giving you secret sauce. And those that have taken our course know it already. So here, so here, you see here, this was the bottom here. This was 15K or 16K, around this area. That's where I bought Bitcoin, right? Rolled it up all the way to all-time highs, and it collapsed, right, as it got here. So here, this was a confirmation that we were at the bottom. So first of all, we were at the 200. It traded below it, and then it put in a confirmation pattern telling you that the sell-off is over, that we are going to reverse. This is called an inverse head and shoulders pattern. This is my favorite pattern, right? Inverse head and shoulders pattern. Then boom, we saw that move that took it to a new all-time highs, right? So that's the key here. So here, Microsoft is still at the same place and is holding here. Microsoft has put in my favorite pattern again. Here, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then this your head. So I expect a move coming up this week. So I'm eyeing this area here. This area here, right? If this can clear this area, it's going to be off to the races. So here, this is the place to beat. So if you can hold here, put in like a green. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a green candle like this. Pick up, boom, boom, take off. Take off to the heavens, right? Come here, this area here. like 290. I still have a position in this. I'm going to add to my position, and then we'll write it up. And then here we get, maybe in the future we are going to get a gap fill, but I'm not looking for gap fill. I'm looking for here. This is all I need, right? If I can get here, I'm good. More than enough. Because why do I need here? Because here you have to look at pattern recognition. You see, last time price came here very close. What did we sold off? And here, this is what caused the sell-off, right? Here as well. So if it comes here, make no mistakes. You got to pay yourself. Take profit off the table. If you want to hold a tiny piece, that's fine. But this is my ultimate target, right? Once it gets there, I'm bailing out, taking the money and doing other things with it, right? If it's a long-term hold, then it's fine. Then I'll continue selling covered calls on my shares, collect premium, and then whatever it does, if it consolidates for 10 years, fine. I'm using that to collect premiums every single week, or bi-weekly, or on a monthly basis. All right, so that's Microsoft. So next one that I have in mind here is Walmart. Walmart, I talked about this, those that traded with us in the day trading service. I talked about Walmart. So Walmart as well had this pattern recognition here. It held this and it popped. And then it's here, well, it came here as well. What did it do? It held. So with Walmart, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at a break of this. So there's this line here, this one. If Walmart can break this tomorrow, it's going to be off to the races, right? It's going to be off to the races. So here we have to clear 126. So I have a 126 calls expiring on Friday. And then it's going to push here to this. And it's going to push over here. And over here. And here. All-time highs. Okay. So that's the game plan. Walmart is one of the stocks that I'm watching this week. And which one else am I watching? I have some. Let me see here. I forgot everything. I've talked about Iran. I've talked about almost everything. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it for tonight, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. And those that want to sign up for the bootcamp, make sure you do so before the deadline. The $1,000 discount goes away at midnight, 11:59 Mountain Time on Monday. So you have to take massive action now. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any questions. If there are no questions, I'll wait here for a couple seconds here. Going once, going twice. Do you have any ticker that you want me to review? Type it in the chat quickly so that I can do so before signing out. But otherwise, these are the tickers that I'm going to be watching this week. And those are the ones I'm going to be taking massive action on. There's also HIMS, something I'm checking. Here is two things that can happen to him. So HIMS, this here is a gap. So you have the gap here. And then you have this stuff here. So this is a gap fill. And yeah, so gap fill here on HIMS. And here is it needs to clear this area. So if it holds here like today and breaks above 27, then we are going to look to get along right here if it holds, and we are going to target here. So I like HIMS as well. However, if it fails, if it breaks below here, this green line, we are going to come in for the gap. So there are two trades. It can either be a long or it can be a short, right? If it breaks below here, then it's going to be a short and targeting the gap fill. So I'm watching this closely as well to execute on it. And whichever one triggers first, I'll take it and execute on the trade. All right. Let me see here. There's this CoreWeave thing. CoreWeave, no. Check out Nebis. So Nebis too is a one that was watching last week, but here it looks like he's about to break out here. So Nebis, if he can break 116 is going to break out and come here. All right, going to break out and go. So you can check that one as well for a long trade if it happens. So I'm seeing, is that checking something here, guys? Just one sec. Okay, that's interesting. Try this here. I'm just trying to connect this trend line to see if it's going to work. Oh, it did. Look at that. You see that? So here, this is what I'm seeing on this. Nibis, if it can break here, it might fail, right? If it breaks here, it's going to break out to this area. If it fails, it's going to come and fill this gap. So that is it, guys. If there are no questions, thank you for tuning in, and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you want to take part in the bootcamp coming up, make sure you sign up and take advantage of the early bird $1,000 off before it goes back to regular price. Okay. All right. Have a good night, guys. See you guys. Those that I day trade with, we are going to day trade tomorrow morning. And those in the swings trading service, the tickets for the week have already been, the top 3 tickets for the week have already been uploaded into your account, the client portal. The video is there, so you can watch it, get ready, set your levels and every stuff. Once it triggers, I'm going to let you guys know and we can capitalize on it. Like last week, we made 2 weeks ago, it was Coinbase 100% return. Last week was 130% on Circle. So we will see how it goes this week with the tickets that have been selected. Okay. All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye for now.